it's Thursday. I'm reading Ryan's script. Exactly. I'm Roth Cornet, and I'm reading it exactly because he put that in, I think, specifically for me, because just before we started filming, I turned to Danielle and said, what day is it? But it's right there. It's right there for us because Ryan's a great producer. Let's give a hand to Ryan, our producer. If you're just joining us for the first time, strap in. This is SJU. That's Roxy Strair.
True, on a Thursday.
I haven't seen you in so long.
I threw you off because I'm a Friday person.
It's true.
Yeah, that's my fault.
That's what happened.
That's why Ryan had to write it for us.
Yes, that's why. I miss your face.
I miss yours too.
And you're lovely and beautiful. And also we're joined by Danielle Radford.
Hello.
And I miss your face.
You see me all the time. I'm old news.
No, you're fresh news every single day. You guys are great. Spencer Gilbert is here.
Roth, welcome back from your vision quest.
Thank you.
I hope you had all the tinctures and liniments and salves and mud baths.
Yeah.
And
Whoa, what's a liniment?
did.
It's like a tincture.
Like a tincture. It's just another word for tincture. Yeah, I did. I actually did go on a vision quest. Thank you.
Yeah.
In the desert, and it was lovely. And I'll be moving to Utah in the coming months due to the apocalypse.
I heard you
before
crafted that turquoise necklace out of a slightly larger turquoise necklace when you were there.
I did.
Is that a true story?
But it happened while I was under, and so I don't quite remember it because
Under
I was
the
still,
ayahuasca?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I was like fully in the ayahuasca experience, which I don't do and I have never done.
Let's talk Mulan.
Let's talk Mulan. But again, I
It's
just
so
didn't
early
wanna
for
say,
this kind of confusion in the Rock's head.
Don't blame me. This wasn't okay. For all the comments that are going to say that I derailed this, play the tape back. It's this guy right here.
Just want to let the
J.
people know where
Gilbert.
you were.
Spenny G in
What he's
his
trying to say
house.
is I just came back from vacation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I had a few days away, and during that time, I am likely to do mud baths and smell herbs and things. It's not that I did do that. It's not that I didn't do that. That may or may not have happened. I'm definitely moving to Utah, and there is a storm, and you can't run. But before that storm, the Mulan trailer has been released.
Did you find out you're the devil? A storm is coming.
Joker stuff.
No.
That is the opposite of Joker stuff.
Joker stuff. Mulan, the second trailer for Disney's live-action remake, was released this morning. The movie is due to come out on March 27th, 2020. It is directed by Nikki Caro, who is a lovely lady who I got the opportunity to interview once, and she is delightful. I want to see all our thoughts. My initial take is, and I think we saw this in the previous trailer, like they really are, for the first time in one of these live-action remakes, doing something markedly different.
Yes, yeah.
Which is very refreshing.
Yeah, it's great. I loved this trailer. And I like that you still get, they still played, the song at the end, the instrumental version, so you still get that moment of like, it's Mulan. I liked everything that I saw in it. From the moment that those dudes run up the side of a building, I was in and they had me. And then you've got a witch, like with all the witchy powers, and yeah, I'm super in on Mulan.
Do you miss the dragon, Spencer?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I found that a little silly, though, that they're like, no, this one's real. This one's grounded. And then, like, somebody turns into a phoenix.
Why does that seem not real to you?
I'm sorry. I forgot where you just came from. Yeah, it does seem to kind of have a magical element to it and a little bit of realism, too. It seems lovely. What's not to like?
Those are your favorite things. You like that combination, generally speaking.
Yeah, like the line between reality and fantasy gets blurred a little bit, but not too much,
Yeah.
And swords and stuff. This is actually like a perfect Spencer.
Yeah, I like swords and stuff.
It's like, this really
Dionne.
is.
Yeah.
This is kind of a perfect storm for Roxy as well, yes?
I cried in this trailer like a weirdo.
Cry, really?
Yeah.
Was it reflection?
Well, I mean, it's the whole thing. I am a Aladdin, Lion King first, Mulan second, but those are my top three. And Mulan just does something that I feel like no other Disney movie does, which is like touch my whole soul because of the actual story. Not for any other reason than like you watch what this woman is doing and what she's doing for her family, and that just like rips me to shreds. And this trailer shows that again. I haven't seen Mulan in maybe 5 years, and I was like, I need to go watch immediately right now. It's so courageous what she does, and I know this isn't real, but like it feels real to me.
But isn't it? It's based on an amalgamation of actual real women who did go into battle.
Yes.
So you can cry.
Thank you very much. And also on real people who turned into phoenixes, which is true. I thought that part part of the trailer looked a little silly, but also kind of matched some of the more mystical parts of the trailer with like makeup and over the top costumes. But I just thought this was perfect. I'm so excited for this movie. I'm excited for the fact that it's not a full blown musical, which I was nervous about at first, but I think it serves the story really well. Yes, on Mulan. I'm so in on this. I will be really, really upset and disappointed if this movie is not good.
That Nikki Caro has asked the question about music or no music so many times over the last year, and I think that there was a lot of pressure, which is weird because we, as much as there's pressure for that, we complain when they just ape the animated movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You get paid to complain about that.
I get the big bucks to say, hey, you just did the thing again. But I think like Mulan, I'm sorry, I'm going to get even more Disney hate for this, but it's a one-song pony, maybe two. It's like...
Are you on Cracola? You went with Roth and you took the bad stuff. What?
What else?
Exactly.
Let's
and
get
then what
down
else?
to business to defeat the Huns, and then reflections. Why does my reflection show a light inside?
Okay, and there you go.
No, there's more.
Mulan, Dupa. Like, no one can name the third song.
No. If you said it, I would know. I told you guys I haven't seen it in a while. Help! What is the other ones?
We don't know.
No, I'll look it up.
The point is,
don't move.
The music.
No, come on. This is some of the best music of the other ones.
They echo it in the score, which I thought was a really nice touch. They don't
really
need to stop and start singing. That's always a little jarring in these.
During the training sequence, if they did start singing to defeat the Huns, that would be really
You'll bring
weird and
honor to us. You'll bring honor to us. You'll bring honor to us.
I think I'm going to put a stop to that train.
True to your heart.
Okay.
You must be true to your heart. Nope. I could keep going. A girl worth fighting for. No.
They're fine. Like every Disney musical has a bunch
reading
of
the lyrics.
Yeah.
No, I'm not reading the lyrics. I'm looking at what the song is.
I mean, like, this is how you have to do it, though. Like, look at this stuff. Isn't it sweet?
I think it's
Wouldn't
neat.
you say neat? Mission's complete.
We're doing the non-demonetized version.
Yes.
But you
Roth and I sound similar enough that we're gonna
sing. You could immediately sing several songs, probably from The Little Mermaid, right?
No, I could do
immediately
Under the
sing
Sea.
Kiss the Girl.
Kiss the
I wouldn't have
Girl.
thought of that. See, but that's what these are. These songs are dope.
All right. Well, there you go. Yeah,
I'm not gonna
agree to
miss them in this
disagree.
either.
I'm not going to miss the music. I think that with echoing it, they'll find cute ways to work it in the background and make references to it and stuff like that. My only worry is that this is like too somber, too serious. I mean, if this is for kids, for me, for whatever. Like, if this is really kind of the tone of the trailer for 90 plus minutes, like that's kind of a. It's kind of a sad-seeming movie.
Some
like,
joke 'em ups?
Someone's got to joke 'em up a little bit. Like the dad seems so sad, and Mulan seems so serious, and like there's got to be. You don't need to put Eddie Murphy in a dragon, but somebody needs to be Eddie Murphy in a dragon in a person.
Probably the sister.
Yeah. Well, counterpoint to that. Counterpoint to your thesis there, and I don't want to argue with your police work, Spencer, but. That's not Nikki Caro's style. If you've seen her movies, have you seen them? Have you seen Whale Rider?
No.
Because it's probably the biggest one that she did.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What are other ones? I don't know.
So
Nikki at all.
let's take a look at her little IMDb here. She did The Zookeeper's Wife, which is about the Holocaust. Did you see that one?
Yeah, it was a book.
About the Holocaust. She did.
see all the Holocaust movies.
Well, again, I think Whale Rider's the one that probably is the most connected to Mulan because it's a little girl coming of age and it has mystical elements to it, and it has her in an environment where her gender is precluding her from actually
Riding a whale.
Really?
Whale and taking her
Seriously?
destiny. Yeah, but it's great. It's really a great movie. But my point is, Whale Rider, at no point during Whale Rider do I feel like it's arduous to watch the movie or it's not enjoyable to watch the movie. But there's really no like talking Eddie Murphy dragon either, notably. So I don't think that we're going to get that kind of movie, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be bad. What I would only say is I don't know how right that feels for little kids.
Was Aladdin not sad? Because I felt like that was kind of somber too.
We got the genie every time Will Smith's up there. He's cracking
and
jokes.
he's there
Nassim, every time she was up there,
I guess, but I feel like intrinsically these stories are not like super happy until the end. A lot of them are really dark and heavy, and teaching kids Lion King. I mean, we're teaching kids about like death and war and struggle.
Disney's been killing parents
forever. You cannot be a princess without at least one dead parent. They have taught us that from a very young age.
True.
A couple dead.
And usually a couple, yeah.
You can't even be a deer.
Yeah.
You can't.
Nope.
You've seen the movies. Everybody's got to die.
Yeah.
Badly. A lot of
Really
times.
horrible. Yeah.
Good. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this. We do appreciate it because then we get to keep doing it. We also want to thank you for continuing to support our endeavors in this world and out of it. Thank you for supporting Never Surrender, our documentary, which is available for pre-sale on iTunes right now.
Whoa.
For those of you that were not able to see it in theaters with us, you can see it there. So hopefully you'll do that. We had a great time, Spencer. Going. We had our event. We went out and we were a group, and Danielle was there.
I did.
It was a lovely, delightful event.
There was wine.
There was wine.
It was really nice. Well, and getting to watch it with all the people, because all of us had seen it before. I hadn't seen, like the final version, but getting to see it in a room full of people that weren't us was really cool.
And actually, a gentleman came up to me afterwards and had worked on Galaxy Quest.
That's right, yeah.
And he gave me some more gossip, which I'll share with all of us later.
That gentleman was Tim Allen.
That man, yeah.
He had ideas about words. Nope,
boy.
not going to do it. Not going to.
We're very, very grateful that we have this platform to bring attention to you guys for lots of things. For movies that you may not have heard of, we'll be doing some of that over the holidays. And for charitable organizations, Joe's been doing a great job looking into those and working with charitable organizations that we can call out on the show. So A26LA is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting under-resourced students aged 6 to 18 for creative and writing skills, which is awesome, and it helps teachers. They provide after-school tutoring, evenings, and weekend workshops. You can find out more about them in the description below. Yeah, I'm all about education, right?
Yeah, that's right. Plus, it just, helping kids, like first of all, it can be hard for some people to just learning how to write in an expository or a creative way, period, is not easy. If it was, well, okay, to be fair, everyone I know does do it, but it's not necessarily an easy thing, and you do want to start young. And so giving kids an outlet to be able to just express themselves with words in that way is huge. And they also do in-school tutoring, and it's pretty amazing. And I like anything that encourages kids to be more creative. And it also will help you, just do regular old, I have to write an essay so I can get into college.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to think about it selfishly, we complain all the time about the movies we see and the scripts, and if we want better scripts, we need to start training them young. So get them as good writers when they're kids.
I mean, yeah, we gotta
Write our
change
good
an
scripts.
entire. There's plenty of good scripts that don't get made. That's what the
Let's train
blacklist
young
is for.
film executives.
We gotta get in early.
I'm not even really entirely kidding. We actually need to train the executives that are going to make the decisions about the movies, but also writers. And it is I think it is a difficult skill, even if you know loads of people that do it. That doesn't mean that it always came naturally to them.
No. You got to get all the bad ones out of your system before you start doing the good ones. So do that young.
And you'll find a few more bad ones yet.
Yeah, they will keep coming, it turns out.
They'll still be in there. As much as you poop them out, there'll still be more to poop. I remember.
Facts.
There's always more to poop.
Poop facts.
If you could do, never mind.
Benny.
All right, fine. I'll finish the thought.
Yeah.
If you could do all your pooping for, say, the month
in
at
one
once,
day,
would you do it, or would you?
How long is the poop?
Yeah, would it take the
2
whole
hours or a day?
Well, let's say you got to set aside like The Irishman, 3 hours 40 minutes.
3
Oh, for
hours?
sure.
Yeah, totally.
I catch up on email.
Yeah.
Are you guys kidding?
No.
That would be horrific.
Why?
You cannot move from the toilet for 3 hours and 40 minutes. Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I have the most painful poops of all time. I've had a fissure since 1941.
Yeah,
but guys, no, do not stick me
You
there.
don't have some cream for that?
I do, but for 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want you to walk away from this bloody and raw.
Thank you.
So that's a no.
That's a no from me,
That's a
dog.
strong no.
No
That's a
from
strong
me.
no. That's a hell yes.
Yeah.
I actually like it too much.
You like pooping?
Oh, you don't want to do it all at
As
once.
a father, sometimes you need some time to yourself. So that's the only place in the house. You gotta-
It's like reality TV rules.
the
no one can
professional
go-
booth.
And mine was TMI.
Here's the thing. Joe's watching this. Hey, Joe, you only have yourself to blame for putting this group of people together.
True.
I won't take the blame for it, even though I am to blame as well. I think I'm going to go with the one day of poop.
Okay.
CBS and Viacom are merging. Speaking of the industry and executives. So this is less than 4 months after announcing their intentions to rejoin as one company. CBS and Viacom closed the merger this Wednesday. This is via the wrap. This puts CBS Broadcast Network and Viacom's stable of cable channels, MTV, Nickelodeon, Paramount Film, and TV Studio under one banner. They split from each other in 2006, so they're getting remarried, which is always like, I don't know, on again, off again, on again, off again. Oh my God, like you hate that couple.
Ross and Rachel.
I'm not buying them another present.
Yeah. So I gotta look. I think this opens up the larger discussion about just the state of kind of these large conglomerations. This is nothing new, but one of the things that I thought was notable is that neither of these arms have a tech piece
Streaming
to the business.
platform outside of
They don't
CBS All Access.
Yeah, they don't. Well, they have a linear channel, Paramount channel, and they have CBS All Access.
Is
but
Viacom still BET?
Probably.
Yes.
Because they've got the BET Plus
yeah.
with Tyler Perry.
Okay, so they have one streaming platform, but they don't like if you look at the Warner merger with AT&T owning Time Warner, that's a much bigger deal in terms of the distribution aspects of that and throttling, as we know. Like there's a lot of implications there. With this, it's largely just content, which seems almost odd.
Doesn't Nickelodeon have their streaming service too? So it would be BT's, Nickelodeon's, and CBS All Access?
Well, then
I mean, the way
They can
Viacom
bundle, yeah.
To this point, Viacom has been doing this like one service per channel. Like you can buy a streaming thing for is it MTV? For Comedy Central, like you can buy its own little thing for that. For like they've done network by network, and it's terrible.
Yeah, they should definitely look. As much as I've said, I will watch and if it's on BET Plus, I'll keep it going on a loop. That's not one that I see a lot of people saying I'm going to spend, even $5 a month on its own, but if you put it into a bundle with CBS, which I think could also kind of maybe use it, and some of these other smaller ones, I think that would be a much better deal.
Or just be like, look, there's still a lot of old people left.
There are old people
they don't know what the streaming is. They can't sign up to Apple anything or whatever. So just dominate what's left on television.
But that's a 10 to 15 year plan. Like that's not a really viable. And by the way, old people have daughters and sons and granddaughters and grandsons who can hook them up and eventually will. I mean, this is the business model that really, like Yahoo was using this for years. Yahoo's primary source of income was people that didn't know how to switch their email off of that browser.
Hotmail, same.
Yeah, same thing. And so they didn't offer anything new. They didn't change their platform. They just rode that train and Jennifer Aniston stories on their news site for as long as they could.
Yeah.
And then it was over, and now everyone's fired. So I don't know that that's the strategy, but maybe a bundle. But that's hard to compete. You've got HBO Max, which has a brand name and tons of content behind it. You've got Disney Plus. What is it, like CBS stuff? Like what are you calling that?
Probably Universe Plus, Max, Dynasty,
Viacom Universe, something like that.
Yeah.
We just get a bunch of them.
Are you buying Viacom Universe?
Yeah, the VU. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting.
If I can get all of them, if I could get, the Star Trek Discovery, and if I can get Picard, and I can get also all my old school, my All That's, and my Roundhouses.
Nickelodeon is on Netflix.
And a lot of the Nickelodeon's on Netflix, that's right.
God, Netflix is just
They would be
taking
pulling
it in
that
the jugular.
though. Yeah. I feel like at least this would make CBS All Access more appealing. It's the one, I guess there's a ton of streaming services. I don't have the smaller ones, but it's the one major streaming service I have not purchased, even though I like Star Trek. So I think that if we're keeping it at the same price, but just adding a ton of stuff and calling it CBS Viacom Universe, then standing by that, then I would purchase it more likely.
For how much?
Like $5, maybe $6.
$4.99.
Yeah, it's so hard because once you get me to, this is a stupid comment, but I'll just say it out loud.
That's our show.
$1 and $5, like the typing of the things, I feel like you get as many people for both. Anything $5 and under, I think you're going to get the same amount of people for. It's when you get past that point that I think you get less people. Not the $1 and $5 are the same thing, but if you have to type in all your information and get charged every month and check your bills and do all of that, $1 and $5 to me are in the same clump. Then there's the next tier, which is like the $6 to $9, and then there's the $10 and over.
And that's the one where it might be.
And that's the point where you get the bell. And I agree with you, Ryan. $10 and over. And there's always ways to justify it. But when you look at your bills at the end of the month, we are paying a lot of money in combination for all of these different services.
Yeah, because the $14 ones are the ones where if I'm looking at stuff, that's the first thing I go, how much am I actually using this? How much am I actually watching YouTube Premium? Like how much, how worth it is it that I can just have things run in the background while my phone's not open?
Why do I have the Ultra HD Netflix? Like I just downgraded from that because like
Why did you have that?
Because it was like, I think it was to watch The Crown or something like that. And it was like, oh, I can see every pore on Olivia Colman's nose.
That's like why do we think that that's... I had a bone to pick with everybody today, but mostly Hollywood. I'm sorry, and I'm going to get the hate for this, but if women were in charge of the evolution of cameras, this would never have happened. There is absolutely no reason you need to see my pores.
That's why SJU was shot on a potato.
The only person
not for long.
ever needs to see my pores is the lady that's got the light on it and she's like getting all in there. That's the only person that needs to see my pores. No one else needs to see anybody's
I believe we are
pores.
going to HD soon, which means I'm going to have to start wearing makeup to work.
Bullshit. Nonsense.
I am looking at your face and
We're
you don't
putting
have
Vaseline
pores.
on all the cameras and we're
jelly
putting
on all
them
the lenses.
200
It's going to be Barbara
yards
Walters
away.
style.
I gotta put on eyebrows. It's gonna be a whole thing.
You know what? This goes into my whole theory about the loss of the Starr system because there's no glamour anymore. There's no sense of distance. There's no icons anymore because they were all made up. And yes, were they manufactured lies? Of course they were. But now we just buy into different beautiful lies, which are superheroes. You see how the transference happened? Ryan's made a good point, though, which is this. Netflix is really, if we think about what this merger means and if things are going to get pulled off of Netflix, because if there is going to be CBS Viacom unicorn, and they're going to pull everything off of Netflix, like from Nickelodeon, and put it on the unicorn, then... I mean, they are just taking it in all directions. Once those licenses are up, all they have is their original content.
Yeah,
which,
I'm going to
frankly,
research, but I believe that Netflix and Nickelodeon might be working on some new stuff together.
Yeah, like the Invader Zim movie.
Yeah, like the Invader Zim movie and some of that other stuff. I don't know how long that's going to last.
They made that Rocco movie, but yeah, this could.
Did I make up that they have a streaming service? I thought Nickelodeon had their own streaming service as well.
Maybe.
So
the Splat.
No?
I'll
think they
stop
maybe
talking to
did.
Ryan, who's off the camera, and
Yeah.
you guys can't hear because that's probably not fun for you. But I just do want to note that he's a 27-year-old young man who knows a lot about Nickelodeon, which is fine.
He wants everyone to know he's 26. Even better.
Final thoughts on this?
Like I said, if they bundle it, because when they announced BET Plus, I want to believe that they're going to get all the black dollars. They're going to get all of my aunt's dollars. I don't know about everyone else's, so I do think that for some of these smaller ones, you're going to have to start bundling these together, or it's just not going to work. Like, I'm going to watch a lot of House of Pain. I'm going to watch the Bobby Brown story. I don't know that anyone else at this
Are you
table-
really going to watch House of Pain?
No. I am going to watch the Bobby Brown story.
Because, fun story, he wrote an episode of it.
Oh, I know.
And I used to do the commercials. I used to
didn't know that.
There's a long House of Pain strand
history
of DNA
here.
running through SJU.
Oh, I watched your episode after y'all told
I mean,
me
it
about
wasn't
that.
me. It was like, I mean, I worked on them, but it was the company that I worked for. We did their ads, and I did a really terrible campaign for them that took ABC and reworked it to be HOP. Yeah, I apologize. At large.
And Dan Murrell played Curtis on that show. I don't know.
Awesome. This is strange. Just a whole series
weird.
intersecting. Final thoughts on this?
After Disney Fox, like nothing else matters. It just feels like no
That got like very.
It just feels like
Existential in the
mergers are inevitable now. In the next 20 years, it's all going to be one company. Like, I don't really believe that, but kind of.
No, I do.
And
I'm ready for the seashells.
I already dealt internally with mergers as a concept, so okay. That's how I feel.
Well,
Yeah.
returning back to what I said, I don't know if I said this on camera or off, but if Screen Junkies had a mascot, it would be the shrug emoji.
The shrug. I think this is gonna not work. I think this has less of a chance than HBO Max or Netflix or all these things. Like, it reminds me of when Napster kind of blew up music, and then all of the record companies started their own Napsters. And it was like, nobody knows about a show, ourselves included, like, nobody knows, like, oh, that's a Paramount show, or that's a CBS Viacom network. Nobody thinks about shows that way. So, like, to have these things packaged together in any kind of, like, if they try to make Viacom a Unicorn Plus, like, that's not going to work, because people just associate nothing with that. Same with Peacock.
Agreed. I think so. Peacock, I agree with you. The ones that stand a chance, in my opinion, that are the ones that have any brand association already.
Right.
And that's HBO. That's why Warner Brothers is calling this, which it's no longer going to be what HBO represents, which is why the people in charge of HBO are leaving, because it's not going to be this very premium service with the best of the best of the best, because you can't do that and also have everything. But they're calling it HBO Max to capitalize on that brand loyalty that we have to HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to HBO, the quality of HBO and Friends.
Yeah, if you're like a fan of Viacom programming and you don't work at Viacom, you're a psychopath. Like,
You are definitely the Unabomber.
yeah, you're definitely,
Like, in
I
that
enjoy
case,
Viacom branded content.
Yeah, you're a cop.
Wait, are they a criminal or a cop? Are they a corrupt cop?
They're a corrupt cop.
Yeah.
If you only watch
Definitely a dirty cop.
But no, and going back to your music metaphor, it's like, even, look, Jay-Z is one of the biggest names in music. He, for his 50th birthday, was like, I would like to make some money, took all of his songs, which were previously on his own streaming service Tidal, put them right back onto Spotify.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
eventually, you gotta.
He would like to make some, would he?
He would like to make some
Didn't
more.
he have a whole
Trade it all
song
for
about
a
making
little
a shit
more.
ton of it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the champagne.
Well, he had his integrity, and he was like, "Nah, I'm 50. I want to make them Spotify bucks."
he wrote the ode to gluttony. Like,
Yeah, he did.
He makes money. He's got also Beyonce makes money. Roxy Strair, you look sad. I won't allow it.
No, I'm just looking at Viacom CBS and wishing it said unicorn. I like that better.
Or it's a Pegasus,
Is that
right?
really what you're thinking?
Yeah, I really was. We had talked about Peacock, and I was like, why can't it be unicorn?
It should be unicorn.
Why can't
Maybe
it be?
it-
Because
I
the
would
Paramount
I
logo's a
would buy
Pegasus.
it.
It's-
Honestly, I would
Yeah.
buy it if it was called unicorn.
It might be called Pegasus.
Not as good.
Okay.
No.
All right, we focus grouped it. It's unicorn.
Unicorn it is. We will. I agree with you. These two have struggles against them. The only thing that Peacock currently has is like maybe the nostalgia factor of these reboots that they're doing. Because I can tell you that I'm watching that Sam Esmail BSG. I am watching that,
Yeah.
and no one can stop me.
Definitely. You're gonna nail this transition.
No, I'm not.
It's such a
was
layup.
too
It's
much.
Speaking of peacocks and unicorns and Pegasuses,
The Masked Singer.
Yay!
We did it together. Okay, I'm really upset about Butterfly. I'm not even kidding. I'm honestly upset at this point.
Why?
The show is failing us, and I'll tell you why. This,
Ross has thoughts.
aside from being a surreal acid trip that we can't escape from, and clearly the harbinger of the apocalypse, like this is one of the horsemen that we just never read about, this show. But it has made a promise to us, not unlike The Voice, that with the mask on, it is about the singing, ladies and gentlemen, and that has not come to fruition. When you're kicking off Patti LaBelle and you're kicking off Michelle Williams for frickin' Thingamajig.
Wait, can I be honest though for 1 second? Because I seriously, I've never watched an episode of the show in my life. I have heard you guys talk about it a little bit, and I've seen some clips, but on this piece of paper, it says Butterfly is Michelle Williams.
Butterfly is Michelle Williams.
You guys mean Michelle Williams?
The Destiny's Child, Michelle
Destiny's
Williams.
Child. Michelle
okay,
Williams.
okay, that makes sense then. Okay, yeah. All right, word.
Michelle Williams
thinking
was on
Michelle
there.
Williams.
Yeah,
From
I was
Fosse,
like, there's just no way.
That would have been the biggest thing that's ever happened.
I was literally thinking like, like
of Manchester by the Sea, Michelle Williams.
I mean,
But it
this
could happen.
Michelle
The
Williams
show's
badass
insane.
That
too.
kind of show.
That kind of show.
It really
you never
is.
know,
Like it could be a
Roxy.
Michelle Williams like actress.
Yeah, it could be. Well,
Wow.
It is.
They never
It never will
get
be.
anybody that big.
Okay. That's literally what I thought this was saying, and you were saying you were disappointed. I was like, this is amazing.
Yes, I'm very disappointed because you have icons, singing icons, exiting the show in favor of people who are like just plainly not as good. Period, not as good. Because for some reason we like to watch Nicole flirt with Thingamajig, and I feel like
What do you mean?
It makes me very uncomfortable.
It was Thingam Shenanigans when he showed on WhatsApp-a-majig or whatever it was, the dating app-a-majig, showed her. I feel like he was a little bit
Pandering.
lying and pandering to the judges.
Well, question, Roth, and I've seen pretty much
Is
every
there no
episode.
integrity on The Masked Singer?
Who's voting at the end? Is it fans? It's all fake, right? The
Yeah,
voting?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
fake.
It's definitely they're
100%
just
fake.
deciding who goes up.
Yeah.
It's just there's someone. Michelle Williams had something else to do. Although probably
I hope
not,
so.
because
She
the
was
saddest
crying.
part of the entire episode was Michelle Williams saying, "I haven't had a job since January,
Yeah.
and this means so much to me."
She was
She had to dress up
crying.
like a butterfly
She had
to
to dress-
sing.
yeah.
She could do like the
God.
county fair circuit. It's
Something.
just Destiny's Child, singular.
Well, she's put out some gospel albums. Anytime Beyonce does something big, she has them roll out behind her and just walk sassy behind her while she is Beyonce. So that's very nice. Like she brought them out for her Coachella and she's brought them out for the Super Bowl.
Sucks.
That's
though,
twice a year.
Michelle. Can you handle this?
That's years
Yeah.
of therapy.
I no, and she did. I believe that she did. Like she's had to deal with stage fright and all that stuff because it's Beyonce casts her a long shadow, and Michelle is still for a lot of people. She's the one that replaced the two. Because she wasn't one of the originals. That was Kelly and Beyonce. And so Michelle came in after they fired two of them. Then they brought her and another one on. Then they fired that one, and then she stayed. So people know her, but I think if you don't know a lot of Destiny's Child, she's just kind of there.
Destiny's Child lore.
Yes. If you're not deep on the Destiny, there actually probably is a fandom wiki. But if you're
Cram
not
it,
deep
Destiny's
on that,
Child.
I'll do the Destiny's Child cram it. Me and Lon will start working on that.
I could help you with that.
Yeah.
I'm all about Destiny's Child. Best Beyonce ever was. Come at me, Beehive. I'm sorry. Destiny's Child for life.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
I love Beyonce still, but Destiny's Child has my whole soul.
So you should watch that. Butterfly was very good, and it's just she has such a distinctive voice again.
I don't know.
I feel really bad for her after you're describing
I'm into
this.
new, like, weird movie album Beyonce. That's my Beyonce.
I think that's the one we're gonna get from now on.
I like it.
Yeah. All
Miss
give
Destiny's
me more Homecoming.
Child. Come on.
No. But, however, well, yes, for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want you to have everything
no, when
in
she-
one life and more.
No, she'll
Destiny's
do
Child.
another Lemonade or so. JC will mess up again, and then she'll have Michelle in the back, like.
Did you like Lemonade?
Whatever. That's me doing the single ladies.
Yeah. I did. But Beyonce is flawless. She can do no wrong. Destiny's Child was like my number one. I mean, they were everything. So like, girl power in general, I like them better.
Okay.
Yeah, I get a lot of hate on the internet for this theory.
No, we're not
opinion.
going to do any hate on our internet.
No.
In fact, please don't do that. Why do that? Why put that in the world? I don't understand it, Spencer. Oh. Can you talk about the Fox? No,
I know who Fox is.
Who's Fox? That's the one I couldn't get a read on at all.
I know who Fox is.
Who's Fox?
Fox is Wayne Brady.
Okay.
And I know that because while he was
because
talking,
he said our friends. Yes, and.
the yes and was what got it.
Yes.
So for folks who are blessed enough to not have to know anything about improv, yes and is basically like the credo of improv, meaning when someone says something to you, and if someone says like, I got you this flower, you don't say, that's not a flower, that's just your hand, stupid. Your job is to say, oh, that's a lovely flower, and then add
What
on
if
to
it were a gun?
Why is it dead?
Oh, I'm so sorry that I gave you a dead flower, but it's because that was a threat and I'm planning on murdering you.
This is why improv is terrible.
Improv is the worst.
Exactly what.
But that
we
is
have
what
to
it
get
is.
this to the president.
I baked this cake for mom. Like none of it's good.
Well, that's where literally yes and comes in. So I
Exactly.
baked this cake. Yes, and she's going to love it because it's green.
Exactly. And so that is a huge improv thing. And so we know that he was on Whose Line and he's a huge improv guy. And as soon as they said that, I knew it was Wayne Brady.
Okay.
But why, Spenny, do you know who you know it is? Because were you in the underground tunnels?
He knows who
Yeah.
Thingamajig
He's
is.
a basketball guy, too.
I know
Why- but why
Thingamajig
do you know
is.
that?
Well, I have my notes. I
You
can
have
pull
a
them out.
theory, or-
no?
They do
It's
clues.
I'm pretty positive because they've just been making all these allusions to him being a basketball player, and he talked about being like hurt, which is guy's hurt right now, and him being like people's second choice, and he was the number 2 pick in the draft and stuff like that. So the one I'm curious about, so it's Victor Oladipo. If people are curious of the Indiana Pacers, it's going to be very anticlimactic when he when people are like, who?
What do you think Nicole's gonna do?
I guess have to date him.
That's the rules of that
just like, oh, I thought it was gonna be LeBron.
When you guys keep saying Nicole, are you talking about Scherzinger?
Yeah.
Is that
She's
who's the judge?
Yeah,
Wow.
one of them. It's like her, Jenny
Is the
McCarthy,
tree-
Robin
Jenny
Thicke.
McCarthy, Robin Thicke, Ken Jeong, and Nicole Scherzinger.
And sometimes
I'd
Joel
like to-
McHale and sometimes Triumph the Inside.
How's it work? They do the Randy
actually-
Paul
They don't judge.
assignment?
They don't
judge.
He's made a good point. They don't adjudicate anything, and so they really shouldn't call themselves
They just
judges.
guess. They're just guessing.
They're like
They really don't know?
No, I
yeah,
don't.
no, but they have
They don't
And
know.
I think we've talked about the binders, right? Like
Okay.
they have these massive. Have we talked about
No.
binders? Because they have these binders that they flip through that clearly have like 5 options, any one of whom could be the person.
Oh,
but it's
okay.
basically because a lot of times I'm like, how does Jenny McCarthy know this random YouTuber? And she doesn't. She has a binder,
Oh.
and the binder told her some information about different candidates, and then she's making her gaze.
Is it John Tron? Like, you don't know who
What
that
I'm
is.
trying to say is it's fixed, but it's fixed for the sake of entertainment so that they can make any kind of educated guess.
Okay. Now, is Sherry O'Terry tree? Because she said simmer down now in her clue thing.
You know, I had a
Tall is tree.
She kept making Friends references.
Yeah.
Like Smelly Cat.
Smelly Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has
But again,
Sherry
they-
O'Terry been on Friends ever?
I don't know who Sherry O'Terry is.
SNL?
SNL.
One of the cheerleaders with Will Ferrell.
I don't know who she is.
Oh wow,
She did this.
Guys, I don't know who she is.
too young.
But what if we did the
What if we did more Sherry O'Terry?
Maybe we could try. Let's see it.
I don't know.
They've been throwing out red herrings for this entire thing.
On Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, or for everyone they've been doing it, where they've been really like trying to make everyone think that Fox is Jamie Foxx, and they were trying to make everyone think that Butterfly was Leona Lewis, and then for a while they were doing stuff where they were implying
Is
it
that
was
better in
Oh, wait, I
Time
forgot this.
versus-
Actually, my old theory was that Tree was Aisha Curry. So we'll see. Well,
simmer down now.
Simmer down could be simmering.
Cooking.
yeah.
There's a lot of she does make a lot of cooking references. Who did you think it was?
I still don't know. I have not been able to buckle that down. That was one, again, Spenny using his basketball knowledge.
And it
to
was like,
kind of-
oh, they put me away during when it's not the season. Like I'm in the background when it's the season time. But it was like, oh, is it about a Christmas tree or is it about her husband Steph
Is it
Curry
about her
being
marriage?
a basketball player and
Wow.
getting all the attention and then, you know.
She did have. Well, she did go on Red Table Talk. I've talked about this, where she was talking with Jada Pinkett, and she said, you know, oh, people always tell my husband how much they love him, and they send him all these DMs and stuff. It would be nice if occasionally someone was like, you know, if I got some of that back, and then the internet lost it. Was like, you don't think you got enough? Why you need men complimenting you and like all of this trash? And then he stood up for her. But so that would make sense too, because she has gone on record as being like, yeah, sometimes it might be nice. Somebody said I was pretty.
So I put on this tree.
Smiling tree. Some people think it's Rachel Ray, right? Am I
I've heard
getting
that, yeah.
wrong?
Rachel,
Yeah.
can Rachel Ray sing?
Can anyone sing? Can Wayne Brady sing?
Yes.
Because the
Yes.
Fox
Yeah.
can sing. Oh, well.
Rachel Ray sounds like she ate a pack of cigarettes. Like, EVOO, add a little more shake of that. Like, it's not a pleasant singing voice, I imagine. But no disrespect if she can sing.
Well, apparently this isn't a singing program because we keep letting go of the best singers in the show. Whoever's making the decision,
Fixes it.
producers. Thoughts, Roxy?
None.
Do you want to watch now? It's the semifinals.
Have we sold you?
I guess not. But I would if I went where Roth went for vacation and then this was on in the background.
That's the right way to watch it.
Word. All right, the final word on the judges is I week to week, I change how I feel about the judges. Can we stop calling them the judges?
Yeah, what name
Sometimes you call them
describes
guessers.
Yeah, guessers, the panel.
The panel. I know. Who's your favorite?
I mean, it's when Triumph the Insult Comic Dog is on the panel,
Hard same.
bar none.
Yeah.
Hard same.
But
It's
if I
when
had
what?
to choose a panelist, I think
Triumph the
just
Insult Comic Dog is on there sometimes.
I do like what's his name, Blurred Lines guy, because he's trying to take
Robin
it
Thicke,
seriously.
yeah.
Robin Thicke.
He's trying to be like, as a musician, and I find that hilarious.
He stopped the model thing, which is kind of annoying.
Well, he got called out on it.
I know, but it was kind of fun to watch him do it every week.
He thought everyone was a model.
He did this thing where Patti LaBelle would walk out, and it's like, you don't know exactly right away that it's Patti LaBelle, but it's not a model. And he'll be, every single time he would just start naming the names of models just to let us know that he knows models. It's like, I've seen your video.
Yeah,
I know you know them.
Like, no one sounds like Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
Like, Patti LaBelle is not, bare-breasted girl number 3 in the Blurred Lines video. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Was there more than one? I thought it was just the one.
It depends on the video, but there's 3 of them.
Funny.
Very good.
And Rada, follow back.
Roxy.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, babe.
It's been good to see you.
It's been good to see you too. I guess I gotta do this Masked Singer thing.
You don't have
I
to.
think
Only if you're here on another Thursday.
I think it'd be really weird if you just watched the finale.
Yeah.
In a good way?
I think it'd be perfect.
Weird in a good way.
Weird is always good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just watch the finale and then come back and we'll talk about that and see what you make of it. Danielle.
Hello.
You're my favorite.
You're my favorite.
Spencer, you're my favorite of the boys.
Favorites? Okay, great.
And you're my favorite too. Thank you guys for joining us today and every day. We are going to be doing a ton of pre-tapes going into the holidays, so you might see some similar outfits.
Yep.
We're going to be counting down the best movies of the decade, so looking forward to that, and a whole bunch of weird stuff that I don't understand. But I'm looking forward to seeing what somebody does with it. And we will see you tomorrow.
That's
well, I
right.
won't, but you will.
Nope.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.